So welcome to what will soon be the home of the South Carolina Inland Port in Greer, South Carolina. Thank you. This is a momentous day for the South Carolina Ports Authority, and it's a momentous day for our state. And it's been some 30 years in the making. Many of you will realize that, because the port in the early 1980s purchased this land here in Greer. The intention was to build an inland port to connect industry in the upstate to the Port of Charleston, but it was pretty clear to me that at that time it was an innovative idea that was really before its time. And ladies and gentlemen, I can now say that this project's time has come. And we've had a lot of interesting comments about building an inland port, because everybody knows that we're involved in a harbor deepening project, a little harbor deepening project in Charleston to make the deepest port in the southeast. And they say, well, Jim, you're an idiot. What river are you going to deepen to get up to Greer? And I can answer that question affirmatively. It's the Cooper River into Lake Marion, the Broad River, the Henry River, and we need a lot of help along the way. So anyway, but we figured out how we could do that as well. Today we're significantly embarking on an enhancement to the logistics infrastructure of our state. Both here in the upstate and along the coast, we're heavily dependent as a state on our port's capabilities, and we're investing heavily. In fact, we're together with the state investing $2 billion in port and port-related facilities over the next 10 years. This includes our new container terminal in North Charleston and, very importantly, our harbor deepening. We're very pleased with the progress made already on our next harbor deepening project for Charleston, which will take our channel depths, already the deepest in the region, to 50 feet. And 50 feet is the true standard for a fully post-Panamax capable harbor in the future. With the support of the state's leaders at the local, state, and federal levels, our harbor will be the only truly post-Panamax harbor, as I just said, and it'll be able to handle the biggest vessels 24 hours a day. We're similarly investing on the land side. You don't just invest in a port, you have to invest in landside facilities. I remember getting, and I looked yesterday, I got the first email from the Norfolk Southern Railroad on January 16th last year from Mike McClellan and Jeff Heller, and you'll hear from Mike later, saying we'd like to work with you to develop an inland port in Greer to serve BMW. And this is a public-private partnership. We're really leveraging the ability of the Ports Authority as a first-class terminal operator, Norfolk Southern, who operates a first-class rail network, and we work hand-in-hand with other world-class partners such as CenterPoint Properties, who are the leaders in the logistics-related infrastructure space. And they happen to have developed a little inland port in a place called Joliet, Illinois. If you're a Blues Brothers fan like me, you'll remember Joliet, Illinois. And they handle only 1.4 million containers there a year today, so they know what they're doing, basically. And of course, none of this would have happened without a great customer. A port doesn't exist without a great customer, and we have a great customer here, and BMW is the anchor tenant. Very grateful. Joseph, I saw Joseph Kirscher here. And they are a very collaborative partner. We couldn't have a better customer. And of course, last but not least, we needed a banker. We needed some money. So, and we're very fortunate to have engaged and made an agreement with First Citizens Bank, and they're represented here today by several people, and they've certainly helped us finance this. And they are very integral to the maritime industry in Charleston. So what you see here today will be transformed in 6 months into a fully operational container terminal, accessible by rail and truck, and processing of hundreds of containers on a daily basis. It's kind of hard to believe if you look around. The facility will serve as an extension of the port within the thriving cargo base of the upstate, positioned in the heart of the I-85 corridor. And this artery, as you all know, represents the fastest growing part of the southeast. And I'll tell you right up front, our port would not exist without the upstate. The upstate is critical to our existence. Our customers will be able to access nearly 100 million consumers within 500 miles, serving major markets across the southeast region and the Midwest. And while announced only a few short months ago, we have been impressed by the significant level of interest in the inland port from both current and prospective customers. Already, the upstate is home of the largest concentration of port users. We expect the inland port to spur additional investment in the surrounding area, serving export consolidation activities and distribution for retail and e-commerce companies. So in short, this is an amazing time to be in the port business, particularly in South Carolina. We have much to accomplish and we enjoy a great amount of support. And I will tell you that from the very start, as we engaged the local community here, the only answer that we ever got was yes. And what can we do faster? And how can we help you? It's the most incredible support that we have ever seen, and we're very grateful for that. The City of Greer, Spartanburg County, the economic development organizations have all been advocates. I really cannot thank enough the Greenville-Spartanburg Airport Authority. You're going to hear from Minor a bit later, and Dave Edwards and his team were integral because we didn't have enough land to do this. We needed their cooperation. They stepped up to the plate, and we look forward to being part of this local community. We are very, very pleased to be joined by our state's governor and both of our U.S. senators here today, all of whom are tireless advocates of our port. And I would particularly say about Governor Haley, we haven't always had governors that have enthusiastically supported our port. But in Governor Haley, we have the greatest champion that we could have. She's passionate about the port. She's passionate about business development in this state. She's the #1 leader in that. And we're really honored that she's here today. We're honored to have her as our governor and our supporter. So, Governor Haley, if I could ask you to say a few words.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, it truly is a great day in South Carolina, but more important, it's a historic day in South Carolina. You are looking at something that is going to once again put South Carolina first. We hit a new benchmark in 2012. The highest number of exports we've ever had, $25 billion exported out of the state of South Carolina. We are the #1 tire exporter in this state over every other state in the country. We're the #1 vehicle exporter of this state in any other state in the country. We're not stopping now. And what this signals with this inland port is saying not only have they been open for business, but they mean business. This is serious stuff. We know we're going to get our port deepened. I burned Lindsay's phone up in terms of that. Your phone just rang and I said, it's not me. We know we're going to get our ports. But when you can turn around and say, not only are we going to get you our ports, but I can go to a CEO and say, we've got this inland port too, it shows that we're serious. It shows that we're ahead of the game. Right now, you've heard me say this, but don't get tired of it. We build things. We build cars. We build planes. We build tires. We build pharmaceutical companies are coming in, and all types of companies are coming in, and the funnel is full. And what we are getting now, more than anything else, are international companies. That's the best part. We could go to another state and pull it. That's the easy stuff. We're getting international companies because the dollar is weak, but they're looking at the Southeast. They see we have no unions. They see that we have stability in South Carolina, but they see infrastructure and they see a plan. And that is what this is all about. I can't thank Jim Newsom enough at the South Carolina Ports Authority. I see all my board members here with the ports. They work tirelessly. They do a great job. The delegation is here. If you look at the help with the airport, right in this hub, we've got rail, we've got ports, we've got trucks, we've got air. That's exactly what you want in every region of the state. And to be able to now do this not only takes care of the businesses we already have, which is what we always say we should do. This goes and gives us one more reason to sell South Carolina and say this is the place we could come. So celebrate today. This is a magical milestone. This is something you will look back and remember and say, I was there when they did this. And this is something that's going to tell every state in the country that the more they try and compete with us, they just can't keep up. Thank y'all very much. God bless.
Thank you, Governor Haley. It's my great privilege to introduce the senior senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham. probably the leading expert in Congress on harbor deepening and ports. He's very, very passionate on the subject, and I'm proud to also consider him a very good friend. So, Senator Graham.
Thank you very much. Being the leading expert in Congress is not the way you want to be introduced. But I know what you meant, and I appreciate the effort. When you're at 12% approval rating, who are the 12% and what do they like? I don't know. Anyway, but I'm from the federal government here to help you. Hey, Tim. Well, Governor, she does call a lot. She does. I mean, she calls a lot, and she's always asking, what can she do to help me, and vice versa. Governor, you really are a great salesperson for South Carolina. Thank you very, very much. And my new colleague here, Tim Scott, I cannot say enough good things about Tim. He's one of the nicest people I've ever met. I hope he'll fit in the Senate. But a great personal story, very smart guy, comes from the Charleston area, but he has roots in the upstate. He played football at PC. Looks like last year, the way good shape he's in, but we get it. Tim and I get our job is to be good partners of business, state, and local government. As you can tell, things are not working too well in Washington, but that doesn't mean we can't be good partners. As to the port, the South Carolina Ports Authority, I don't know how we got Jim Newsom, but I'm glad we did. Thank you very much, Jim. You could you and Barbara and to the board members, I know you do this for the money. I don't even know what you get paid. But 1 in 5 jobs in South Carolina is created at the Port of Charleston. It truly is one of the economic engines of South Carolina, an ace in the hole for South Carolina business. The other big engine, and there are many, but one of the big ones is I-85 corridor. Let it be said today that the two engines of the South Carolina economy are now connected. That is going to pay great dividends for this state. If time is money, South Carolina is a good place to do business, because we're going to make sure your product comes into this state efficiently and goes out efficiently. And if you're into the export business, come to South Carolina and locate around one of these centers of operation. We will get your product to any place in the world at low cost with a smile on our face. We're happy to have your business. This is an operation that was a result of people saying yes. Your federal government is a result of people who can't say yes. And we need to change that. It's okay to say no based on principle, but eventually you got to say yes to something that makes us all better. I would argue that what the people in the Greer area and what the folks in Charleston have been able to do over the last 30 years by working together is going to pay dividends for everybody in between. And I just would like to end on this note. Today is the Sequestration Day. Happy Sequestration Day. To me, sequestration in Latin means dumb politics. How do we get out of this mess? The same way the country has survived and thrived for the last 200 years. Finding common ground, trying to find a way to make everybody a winner instead of everybody a loser. I don't know how this ends, but the way it should end is that the political leaders on the Republican and Democratic side in Washington come together and say, we're going to become Greece if we don't change the course we're upon, that we can make our tax code more efficient, we can flatten the tax code, we can generate revenue to pay down debt, and we can reform entitlements. And ladies and gentlemen, here's the good news. America is one big deal away from dominating the 21st century. I intend to do everything I can to make that big deal a reality. God bless you all.
Thank you, Senator Graham. As you all know, the 1st District Congressman is very important to the Port of Charleston, and now the former 1st District Congressman is now a senator from the state of South Carolina. He's a great advocate for our port, and we're very proud of Tim Scott. So, Senator Scott, if you would say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Jim, thank you for the invitation to come be a part of the celebration. When Lindsay called and told me that there were some shovels that he had put together for me, I was wondering what he was talking about. But he said, my friends have some shovels, and we've turned in some dirt about 6 feet deep. I was very concerned. But I know I'm new to the Senate, but I wasn't born last night, so I was very, very concerned, Senator. Thank you very little. Anyways, but when I think about what we're doing here today, truly, it is starting something that will continue throughout the country. We are getting ready to see the model for the nation, how to make it work, how to make connectivity actually a responsive word in creating an exporting advantage for our state and for our nation. I believe that this inland port will be the model for the nation. And I will tell you that having served on county council in the state house, having served on an airport board, the genius of teamwork is here. And I will tell you that from the visionary leadership of Mayor Danner to Jim Newsom at the port, when you're able to pull together the city, the county, the airport commission, the state, rail, and the port, and make something happen in about 13 months and open it, that is fantastic. It says that the people are more concerned about their citizens, the end user, than they are their own egos. And that's what's making South Carolina great. And I'm glad that I'm able to be a part of pushing things forward. And God bless the leadership and the visionary leadership of our state.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Scott. Well, I guess everyone knows that an inland port is like the emperor with no clothes without a railroad to connect it. And it really was the vision of the Norfolk Southern Railroad that brings us here today, because they did approach us in January of 2012 with the idea of working together to serve the needs of BMW on their container traffic. And we've worked hard on this project. It's happened very quick. It's something I think we're both very proud of. And I'm pleased to introduce the Vice President of Intermodal and Automotive Marketing of the Norfolk Southern and a good friend, Mike McClellan.
We're going to take a break now from high-profile, recognizable speakers and turn to me. Thank you for allowing me, Jim, here to speak. And also, you can vanquish that idea of dredging those rivers up here. We'll take good care of you and get in the freight here. On behalf of the 30,000 Norfolk Southern employees and the 500 Norfolk Southern employees here in South Carolina, thank you for having us. It's really an honor and exciting to be here. I've worked on over a dozen intermodal terminals in the past decade, and this one is truly special and exemplary in a lot of ways, and I want to talk about that. First, the South Carolina Inland Port, the SCIP, is really a model for public-private partnerships. We've been involved in a lot of them, but this one really came together, and this is where we're sharing the risk and we're sharing the upside, Jim, and there will be a lot of upside. I know that. And I think we're both going to be better off for doing this. Second, the SCIP further demonstrates that U.S. railroads, we can compete in shorter haul markets. A lot of people think about railroads, you think about 1,000-mile hauls. We can compete in these short haul markets, and we can take freight off the highways. We can be an effective solution for mitigating public infrastructure congestion, and more importantly, for strengthening the competitive position of manufacturers and distributors in this country, especially the manufacturers and distributors in Upland, South Carolina. And finally, and most important, this project is nothing short of exceptional in terms of the time to market. And we've been involved in a lot of these public-privates. I've never seen anything like this before. You've mentioned it several times. It is amazing how South Carolina, all of you came together to put this together. And 18 months from deal to opening, it's truly, truly remarkable. That means South Carolina is open for business. You've done a great job. So, Governor and Senator Scott, Senator Graham, it's an honor to share the stage with you, and thank you very much for everything you do for Norfolk Southern and for freight rail interest in the state. Again, on behalf of all of us at Norfolk Southern, thank you for having us here. We're thrilled to be part of this project. And Jim, special thanks to you and South Carolina Port Authority for everything you've done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. I think you all know that no is the easiest answer in the world to give. You don't have to think very hard if you say no, but getting to yes is often more difficult, and it takes risk and it takes guts. And as I mentioned, we've had some great local partners, and we wouldn't be here today without their ability to say yes. So first off, I'd like to introduce the Vice Chairman of the Spartanburg County Council, Councilman David Britt.
On behalf of the Spartanburg County Council, it's my honor to share the stage with Governor Haley, and it is a great day in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Our two great senators, Senator Graham, I've never called his office or called him without getting the help that we needed in Spartanburg, and now Senator Scott and the other dignitaries on the stage. Jim Newsom, Jack Ellenberg, I want to thank you for having the vision, along with your board and staff, to make this inland port not just a vision, but a reality. Your laser-like focus is why we're here today having the groundbreaking. And as I was thinking about this, 21 years ago, really not very far from here, we were having another historic groundbreaking. We had pretty much the same partners. You know, I keep hearing all this stuff, this is revolutionary and unusual how we've all come together. But 21 years ago, these same partners, with the addition of Norfolk Southern and the city of Greer, came together. The inland port, the governor's office led by Governor Campbell, who got it when it came to economic development, much like Governor Haley does. We also had the Airport Commission. We had Spartanburg County. And we had the Chamber. Back then, now we call it the Economic Futures Group, all coming together for something that would change South Carolina, it would change Spartanburg, and for the most fact here, it would change the Southeast. That was a groundbreaking for BMW. And here we are today, 21 years later, getting ready to have another transformational groundbreaking, one that will impact the citizens of Spartanburg, the upstate, and our neighboring states of North Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee for lifetimes to come. In Spartanburg, we know who the Golden Goose is. And in South Carolina, I know our governor's office knows who the Golden Goose is, and that's business and industry. And believe it or not, there's some people that will ask, and I've asked me before, why in the world do you fight, and your council fights so hard for economic development in Spartanburg County? And it's real simple. It's because when you have jobs, your citizens have hope and opportunity. Hope and opportunity for their families and actually to have the quality of life that we all want and enjoy. I have a quote on my desk at my office that says, teamwork makes the dream work. And we've heard a lot about teamwork. And we've had a great team to make this happen. I want to say two quick things about our new partner in the city of Greer. They've got an excellent mayor in Rick Danner, the city administrator, Ed Driggers. In fact, when we met, y'all keep talking about 13 months. I've counted 8 months when we first found out about this. When we met last July, Mayor Danner, Ed Driggers, and a couple of his teammates, Carter Smith, Brian Nash, and a couple of our county folks, we met out on 290, and Jack Ellenberg laid out what he wanted to get done. Not one person backed up and said, that's going to be difficult to get done in a short amount of time. Everybody rolled up their sleeves and told Jack and Jim, let's get it done, and we'll get it done now. And they've delivered. I also want to thank our new partner, Norfolk Southern, Mike McClellan. Their team has been phenomenal. I also want to mention a couple of our old teammates, the Airport Commission. It's already been mentioned, Dave Edwards and your board and commission. And I want to say a special word of thank you for former Mayor Bill Barnett, and Commissioner Doug Smith, and Hank Ramella for their hard work in promoting this as well. Then I also want to mention the Economic Futures Group with Brian Nash and led by Carter Smith. These guys don't get the credit that they deserve for the hard work that they've done. And I also want to say a special thank you for my county council that I work closely with. I've been on council now 23 years, and I've never worked with a council that works harder. We're led by Chairman Jeff Horton. We've got Council Member Roger Nutt, Council Member Dale Colbert. This is your district too, Dale. Thanks for the good work there. Council Member O'Neill Mintz, Council Members Michael Brown and Jane Hall. And we're led by an excellent administrator as well, Catherine Hubbard and her staff. So Jim, Jack, I want to make a pledge to you and a promise. We will make sure that this baby, we want to thank you for letting us be here at the birth of the South Carolina Inland Port, but we will nurture and support this baby. And in 21 years, we'll be talking about what we did back on May 1st, 2013. The inland port will continue to keep Spartanburg County and the upstate on the global stage, and it will be a differentiator for South Carolina. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Thank you, Councilman Britt. It took us about 5 months to figure out what we were doing. That's the difference in 8 and 13, and if we could do it, first of all. But thank you so much. Well, Mayor Danner, I think BMW put the city of Greer on the map some 21 years ago, but I do believe that today in the global logistics world, the city of Greer, South Carolina, is further entrenched in the mindset of many people. So I would like to ask you to come say a few words to us. Mayor Rick Danner of the city of Greer.
David, I'm with you. They were talking about 18 months they've been planning this, and we just found out about it about 8 months ago, you know. So if they'd have brought us on the first day, we'd have had this thing going, already been done. They'd been having trains going in and out of here. Greetings, Senators. Thank you all for being with us today, Governor. Thank you and other esteemed guests and our guests. Welcome to the city of Greer. I have the enviable task today of trying somehow to describe for you the significance, importance, the benefit, the excitement that this inland port facility will bring to the city of Greer. How significant is this facility to the city of Greer? Well, let's actually start in 1873 rather than 18 months ago. Because it was in the spring of 1873 that a train left Charlotte headed for Atlanta along the shiny new rails of the Richmond-Danville Airline Railroad and crossed this very property before stopping a mile and a half down the track at a brand new constructed depot called Greer's Station. And it was there that they unloaded a load of fertilizer for Mr. James Manning Greer. There have been a lot of trains come and go on this track since that maiden voyage 130 years ago. But none will be more significant than the first one to pull into and back out of this inland port facility later this year. How will this facility impact the city of Greer? Not since the early 90s, which has already been mentioned, with the announcement of the impending arrival of BMW manufacturing facility, has an announcement created more expectation or potential impact than this announcement. Projections of jobs, economic development, traffic opportunities at the time seemed overwhelming. But through the cooperative, willing, and visionary leadership of the folks in place at that time, we have helped BMW not only meet their expectations, but to exceed their expectations. Not since BMW has a project had more potential impact on our city. So how will these facilities benefit the city of Greer? In 2007, the city of Greer undertook the single largest urban building project in the city's history, an investment of over $20 million in our downtown. While this project is not an urban renewal project, indeed the construction, operation, support facilities will represent the single largest investment inside the corporate boundaries of the city in many years and will bring jobs, economic development, and international attention to this city. How excited is our community to have this new facility? Look around. Look around you right now. In my 13 years as mayor, I have never witnessed a gathering of not only so many people, but so many important people to come to a groundbreaking. Your presence today shows an unparalleled level of interest, optimism, and support for this facility. How significant is this facility to the city of Greer? Historic. How impactful will this facility be on the city of Greer? Historic. How beneficial will this facility be to the city of Greer? Historic. And what is the level of excitement for this facility to be located in the city of Greer? Historic. On behalf of all of the citizens of Greer, I want to thank our friends for making this day possible. Thank you to the Ports Authority. Thank you to the state of South Carolina, Governor. Thank you to the folks with Norfolk Southern Railroad, BMW, CPW, Spartanburg County Council, the City of Greer staff, and GSP Airport for allowing me to be able to stand here today and say it is a historic day in the city of Greer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Danner. I think it's arguable that the future, particularly of import distribution in this country, is e-commerce related. And it's notable that this inland port is probably the only inland port that I know that it really marks the convergence of four modes of transport, water being the extension of our port, rail, truck, and also air. And it was vital from the start that we had a good cooperation with the Greenville-Spartanburg Airport Authority and Airport Commission. And from the very first day, they expressed their willingness to cooperate with us. It's obvious that we needed more land that we had. They worked with us really hand in glove to make this a reality, and certainly for Dave Edwards and his team on the staff of the Airport Authority, with very much encouragement from their chairperson, Minor Shaw, who's here today. I asked Minor to say a few words.
Thank you, Jim. And I want to thank all of you for being here today, because this is a tremendous show of support for truly an historic day. Particularly want to thank our governor for being here and our two senators, Graham and Scott. Thank you very much for taking time and adjusting your schedule to be here, because this truly is important. And it is so exciting to be with each one of you here today to celebrate the groundbreaking of this wonderful new inland port facility. The inland port concept and facility will forever change the logistics capabilities of this upstate in a very positive way by providing a type of facility that exists in only a few areas around the country. And as Jim said, I believe this is the only one that combines all four modes of transportation. There is no doubt that this new facility will support and encourage the expansion of existing businesses and also the recruitment of new businesses. In October 2011, the Greenville-Spartanburg Airport Commission and District began to study how best to develop land that was owned by the airport district. Our goal was to develop the land and develop a comprehensive plan that would be sensitive to the environmental issues and also preserve the necessary land for aviation uses, and then also for property not needed for aviation purposes, establish a plan that would help bring more manufacturing, industrial, and distribution partners into our area. So when the Greenville-Spartanburg Airport Commission heard from the South Carolina Ports Authority about their desire to open up an inland port adjacent to the airport, the Commission was excited and was ready to support the development of this facility. The Greenville-Spartanburg Airport Commission has partnered with the South Carolina Ports Authority on a land transaction that provides the South Carolina Ports Authority with 60-plus acres of property that is now airport property, airport district property. And that property was necessary, as Jim said, for the full implementation of the inland ports facility. This has been an example of positive collaboration that will help ensure that the upstate is a better positioned area for upstate growth. And it's been an area of collaboration and public-private partnership from day one, as evidenced by everybody here today. There's so many entities that have helped make this day possible. On its own, the district's land use development plan would have had a significant impact. And on its own, the inland port would have also had a significant impact. But together, these two projects have the potential to not only change the way business is done in South Carolina, but they have the potential to change the way that others around the country and around the world do business with South Carolina. As this district continues to move forward with its land use and our land use strategies, and the inland port opens for business later this year, there is no doubt that we will attract the attention of businesses and industries seeking to locate here and locate in this area, which is primed for success. Our future is truly bright in our upstate area. So on behalf of the Greenville-Spartanburg Airport Commission and our staff, and I thank you very much to our hardworking staff for helping make this possible. Congratulations on today's groundbreaking, and welcome to the Upstate. Thank you.
Minor, thank you very much. To build a port, to build a successful port, you need world-class private sector partners. And, you know, from our observation, the leaders in the logistics-related real estate development space are CenterPoint Properties from Oak Brook, Illinois. And they're represented here today by their CEO, Paul Fisher. And CenterPoint has a lot of experience in building and developing inland ports and relating infrastructure to those types of facilities. As I said, they have a small inland port in Joliet, Illinois, which handles over 1 million containers, third largest port in the United States of any type. And we really are excited to have CenterPoint as part of the logistics fabric of South Carolina, and we look forward to a very long working relationship. So, Paul, if you would say a few words.
I tell you, it's great to be out of Chicago and in baseball weather. I noticed that I was number 9 in the lineup, so I'll do what most number 9 batters do: take 3 swings and get out of here. So, but I can't pitch, by the way, but I know I can't hit. But I'd really like to tell you, we work all around the nation with every major port group, and I think you should be grateful for what you have here. Not only Bill Stern and Director Newsom and Jack Ellenberg, I have to tell you, they're the most commercial port management team we've encountered. And when I mean commercial, really understands the need of the customer, is entrepreneurial, thinks about ways to move business ahead in a win-win fashion. I have to tell you a story. I knew they were commercial when they gave me my favorite necktie. Thought this is the best giveaway that I've ever had, and I wear it everywhere, not just to this event, Bill. I want to congratulate also Governor Nikki Haley. It's rare when you see a governor that is so pro-business. In many states, you think business was the enemy instead of the engine of economic growth. I think you've got 2 tremendous senators. Should be proud of that. We've worked in states where the Senate members haven't been very helpful and where we've sought their help. We've worked with Mike McClellan in other states. He's a tremendous partner, and whenever we can collaborate with the NS, we try to, because they're visionary. I have to tell you, we've done a lot of very, very major public-private partnerships. I think you should be pleased with Spartanburg, Councilman Britt. You should be pleased with your mayor, Richard Danner, and Chairwoman Shaw, because they have worked collaboratively. 18 months is an incredibly short period of time to launch something like this. So you should be grateful. It is a real privilege for us to be here and for my colleagues to work with all of you in executing this project. But why are we so excited about this? Yeah, we're in the inland port business, but this is a very new model that we think is unique and is the way that port business nationally could grow, where you connect an inland facility with a shuttle train to a port. And I think that's something we have thought about, and finally Jim said he was doing it, and we said, wow, that's something that we want to participate in because we think it's the way of the future. Because we're a logistics services firm, and we're focused on things like this. And we have built large facilities like this, but this is a model that we'd like to see successful, and we're confident it will be, because this is the kind of thing that business wants. You know, they say you can't pick family, but you can pick partners. Part of our mission statement is to create jobs and to work with communities. And what we like about this project are the people that we're working with. And I hear this from the guys that have been down here working on this. You know, we have good values, and we think this state and all the participants have good values: integrity, respectfulness, creativity, collaboration, dedicated to excellence and service. And so we're really pleased to be here, and we want to work on projects like this with the state. I'm a carpetbagger, I know, but I've hired a linguist to work on my accent, so stay tuned. Next time we have one of these things, I think you'll be able to understand me. Okay, so thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you, Paul. It's not lost on me that we're right by the main line of the Norfolk Southern Railroad, and they have 40 trains a day here, and we haven't seen one yet, but I don't think we should test our luck, really, so we probably need to move on. But I mentioned, I think, earlier, and it needs repeating, we're the only state, the only port in the country that can say that the entire share of its harbor deepening project is set aside in an account. And Senator Graham and Senator Scott, it's not because we don't believe in what the federal government could do, wink, wink, but it really can only be attributed to the tremendous vision of the South Carolina General Assembly. And we have many members of the South Carolina General Assembly here today, and I will not introduce all of you individually, but we cannot express our gratitude enough, because it's a game changer for our state to be able to say that we've got the money set aside to deepen our harbor, and there are no contingencies to that. So thank you very, very much. And finally, I would be not doing a proper job if I did not thank the board of the South Carolina State Ports Authority. We have a wonderful board. Our chairman, Bill Stern, Dave Posick, Pam Lackey, Mike Sisk, Henry McMaster, former board member Rich Hagans is here today, and I'm probably forgetting somebody else. I get in trouble if I do. But they work tirelessly to support the port. This idea came up very quickly. There was never a doubt. There was simply never a doubt that this would happen. And then finally, I would like to thank the staff of the port. I get the luxury of working with a wonderful group of dedicated people that are very capable. They know a lot of stuff that I don't know anything about, and I know Jack Ellenberg has been cited here, and deservedly so, because he knows this area very well. And Jack, thank you a lot, along with the rest of our staff. And for those who planned this today, thank you for a wonderful event. So we have some shovels here, as Senator Graham mentioned, and I think the next part of the ceremony is to go break ground. So thank you.